Aizie from Ezekiel Arlina High School. Let me help and guide you in this learning journey. Are you ready to learn? Great! Before we start, make sure that you have your pen, paper, and self-learning module ready. What was the last movie you've seen? I heard John and Sarah went to the movie house yesterday. I wonder what movie they watched. Well, let's watch the video clip of their conversation.
Raya and the Last Dragon is absolutely a terrific movie. Yes, it's truly a beautiful movie both visually and story-wise. It's action-packed too. Raya and the Dragon brings serious girl power. It's definitely one of the best Disney movies. High five!
Did you listen closely to the conversation of Sarah and John? What were they talking about? Have you tried evaluating a piece of work? Never? Don't worry, just keep on watching and I'll teach you how to write a critique paper. At the end of this lesson, you were expected to identify the steps in writing an independent critique, explain ideas using the principles of cohesion, and write a critique paper. What is a critique paper? It is a genre of academic writing that briefly summarizes and critically evaluates a work or a concept. Critiques can be used to analyze a variety of works, such as 1. Creative works, for example, novels, films, stories, exhibits, and images. 2. Research, for example, journal articles, monographs, and systematic reviews. 3. Media, for example, news report and feature articles. Just like other essays, a critique uses a formal writing style with a clear structure. It means it has an introduction, a body, and a conclusion. However, the body of a critique paper includes the summary of the work and detailed evaluation. Before you go straight to evaluating a work, make sure that you have a thorough understanding of it. It means you have to study the work under discussion, make annotations, develop an understanding, consider how the work relates to a broader context, and verify claims of the work. What are the parts of a critique paper? We have the introduction, summary, evaluation, conclusion, and reference. Let's talk about the introduction. Unlike in other essays wherein you simply introduce the thesis, the introduction of a critique paper is more complex. It means you have to introduce the author and the title of the work being critiqued, state the author's main point. The main point is what the author wants the reader to do after reading it, and explain the context in which the work was created. Provide your readers information that they need to further understand the work. Assume that your readers have not read the work that you are trying to evaluate. The second part of a critique paper is the summary. In writing a summary, you have to briefly summarize the entire work and discuss the main point of the author objectively. Remember, summary should not be the focus of your critique paper. More often than not, summary is shorter than evaluation. After summary comes part 3, the evaluation. This section should provide a systematic and detailed assessment of the different elements of the work, such as the accuracy of the information, hidden assumptions, clarity of language, and organization. The evaluation section should also contain the strengths and weaknesses of the work. Lastly, it should examine the work and evaluate its success in light of its purpose. You are almost ready to wrap things up. The next part of a critique paper is the conclusion. It is usually a brief paragraph that contains the overall evaluation of the work, the summary of the key points identified in the evaluation section, and recommendations for improvement if necessary. So, you have your critique paper ready and you are eager to submit it to your teacher. Wait, check it again. Make sure that it includes the reference list. Usually, American Psychological Association or APA style is used in referencing. Referencing allows you to acknowledge the contribution of other writers and researchers in your work. It is also a way to give credit to the writers from whom you have borrowed words and ideas. I know you are already excited to write a critique paper, but before we go into that, let me first discuss to you the cohesive devices that you can use to connect the ideas between the different parts of the text. Writers use transitional devices and phrases to achieve a clear and logical flow of thought from sentence to sentence and paragraph to paragraph. Here are some of the techniques that can help your readers follow your train of thought. 1. Repetition of keywords and phrase. This helps your reader focus to your ideas and keep them on track. For example, the problem with contemporary art is that it is not easily understood by most people. Contemporary art is deliberately abstract. It leaves the viewer wondering what he is looking at. 2. Synonyms. These are words that have essentially the same meaning and they provide a variety of word choices, helping the readers to stay focused on the idea being discussed. For example, myths narrate sacred histories and explain sacred origins. These traditional narratives are, in short, a set of beliefs that are real force in the lives of the people who tell them. Pronouns. This, that, these, those, he, she, it, they, and we are useful pronouns to refer something to previously mentioned. For example, when scientific experiments do not work out as expected, they are often considered failures until some other scientists try them again. 4. Transitional words. These words provide readers a clue on the relationship between sentences and paragraphs. Some of the transitional words are however, therefore, in addition, also, and moreover. For example, moreover, higher vaccination rates make outbreaks much less likely. It also reduces the need for preventive measures such as border closures and travel restrictions. 5. Sentence patterns. Sometimes, repeated or parallel sentence patterns can help the readers follow along and keep the ideas tied together. For example, Robert has supported the measures in the past, and he will continue to support it in the future. There you have it, the complete guide in writing a critique paper. In this lesson, you have learned to introduce the work, summarize the work objectively, evaluate the work using a set of criteria, wrap up by telling your overall evaluation of the work, cite reference using APA format, and use cohesive devices. Did you understand your lesson? Great! Now let's have a short exercise. Please get a pen and paper and answer the following questions. 1. It is a type of academic writing that briefly summarizes and critically evaluates a work. 2. What do you call a part of a critique paper that contains a systematic and detailed assessment of the work? Three, what do you call the part of a critique paper that contains the overall evaluation of the work? Four, what do you call the part of a critique paper that contains the summary and description of the work? Five, what do you call the part of a critique paper that contains the resources cited in your work? How did you fare in your exercise? Great! For your performance task, you are going to clip and mount an article from a newspaper and critique it. The complete instruction and rubric will be posted in our Google Classroom. So, I hope you learned something from our discussion today. I hope to see you again in our next video lesson. To get notified of the new video lessons, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. Bye everyone! Thanks for watching!